Hello. In today's video, we were talking serious. A lot of the time I make videos and they are very joking, silly videos, or sometimes I make videos on just overall anything interesting in the game. Like let's just say I make a top 10 or whatever, a ranking video. Today's video, we're going to actually be talking pretty serious. There's something I think I need to share with Brawl Stars, and I feel like there's a big thing that a lot of people have different views on, and I'm going to be talking about burnout from the game. And don't get worried, I don't have burnout. In fact, I love the game, and a lot of time whenever I have burnout and things, I just push through. I don't actually just like stop what I'm doing. I try to push through. So I'm good, but I think I want to talk about the game because there's a big thing that I think there's a big misunderstanding. So I can just get to it. Alright, so a big thing in Brawl Stars, and something I think a lot of people say that I believe, in my opinion, is incorrect. So the big thing about burnout is in Brawl Stars, people a lot of the time whenever they say that they've got burnout, they'll say there's nothing to do in Brawl Stars, which I think is the complete opposite. There is too much to do in Brawl Stars. So I have heard some people use the argument that, well, it's not that there's not enough things to do in Brawl Stars, it's just there's too much where it's overwhelming. For example, Power League, Solo Power League, Duo, Team Power League, then you've got your game modes, you've got your quests, you've got your daily tokens that you need to get, then you've got the daily login, Club League. All these different things just build up, and Club League is the latest and greatest to it. And honestly, I think Club League is so bad. It is kind of fun to gather up with some people that you have no idea who they are, but they're just in your clubs, and then you start to play with them. I think that's kind of cool, but the big thing is that there's just too much to do in Brawl Stars, and it's very overwhelming. But at the same time, there's a bigger thing to it. It's more of an iceberg effect. So the thing is that in Brawl Stars, it's not that it's overwhelming, it's more of the quality. Now, what do I mean that there's a bit of a quality issue? In some other games, when there's an issue in a specific game mode, instead of them just bringing out 2 more new game modes, they'll fix the issue. So people who genuinely love the game mode and actually look forward to playing it will therefore be able to play it. Quality game modes and quality content is really good. Honestly, in my opinion, I think in games better to have quality over quantity. Quantity can be good, but at the same time, Brawl Stars shows that it can be good and bad. Brawl Stars is huge. Brawl Stars is one of the biggest mobile games there is, and it's still staying strong today, and it has been doing so good lately, and just in the past few years it's just done so good. Now the problem is that there's quality issues. There's, let's just say Supercell bring out Solo Showdown, and there's an issue like teaming. Well, instead of them fixing it, they'll just bring out a new game mode like Siege, or like Payload, or Takedown, or Lone Star, and these game modes nobody really likes. So then instead of Supercell thinking, okay, well, how about we fix them? What's the biggest issue with Takedown? It's a bit RNG on how the bot spawns. Okay, well, instead of us fixing it, why don't we take away it and bring out a new game mode? Hey, here's a new game mode, have fun. The problem is, if there's an issue with that, then they'll just think, oh, well, nobody really liked it. Okay, well, let's move on to a different game mode. But they don't actually fix it. I understand making something and it's not being good on the first try is absolutely understandable. Believe me, it's really difficult to do something and like most people love it straight away. Obviously, it's really difficult to do that, but it's more of the concept that's the thing. So if there's a game mode, like let's just say Lone Star, if you know what Lone Star is, it's a solo game mode where it's solo bounty. A lot of people really love the idea of it, but then when it actually got brought out, the whole system was really bad. They fixed some things here and there, but then after a bit, they just gave up and removed the game mode. But then there's an issue where when they do make good game modes, for some reason they have a habit of taking it away. Life Leech. Life Leech was really good, and if you don't know where Life Leech is, it's Graveyard Shift. But it used to be a permanent game mode into the game. It used to be a modifier where it was just a normal thing. But okay, they take it away, it's not amazing, but there used to be another thing in the game where every Halloween they would bring out Life Leech for around about 2 to 3 weeks, which was so cool to look forward to. It was an awesome game mode, but then they took it away, and I don't know why they've taken it away, because I haven't heard a single person say how much they hate it when they like solo gamers. If you don't like the game mode, that's understandable. It's likely that you just don't like the solo aspect. But for people that generally like solo game modes, I think it has a pretty good ratio of how many people like it who dislike it. I've not heard a single person that says they don't like Life Leech that generally enjoys solo game modes. And then there was the fact of Solo Showdown Plus. So Solo Plus was basically where every single time you get a kill, you get 2 trophies, but if you die, then you lose 2 trophies. So really, it was really good for EU players, for people that are in really tough servers, Asian servers, for people that just can't really grind more brawlers than like Max and Primo in solos. Now the thing is, Solo Showdown Plus recently got removed around about 2 seasons ago. It was in the Ash season, but then when the Lawless season was released, they replaced it with Duels, which overall got really good expectations. People honestly got really high expectations with Duels. I personally didn't mind it. Wasn't really good for pushing though. It was good to have for having fun, but not actually to push. And lo and behold, they took away duels. So then, okay, what now? So the problem is that Supercell don't overwhelm with content. Well, they kind of do, but it's more of the quality. And Clash Royale is a good example. So Clash Royale brought out a feature around about like 5 years ago, whatever. Basically, in clans, there was this interactive feature where there was actually more of a purpose than just being in a clan and requesting cards. You could play this. There was this event where you need like 500 crowns, and once you got 500 crowns, then you get a chest. And then if the team got 800 crowns, then they would get a bigger chest. This happened every single week, but people didn't really seem to like it because it was very grindy. Okay, well then they changed it to Clan Wars, and then Clan Wars was pretty good, but then they changed it to Clan Wars 2, which wasn't good. But at the same time, that at least they tried. They made so many different adjustments, which personally I think Clan Wars 1 is better in my opinion. But overall, they made so many adjustments and tried their absolute hardest, and I am very confident that Supercell will try to change Clan Wars 2 because it's just not a liked game mode in Clash Royale. But the problem about Brawl Stars is if there's a good game mode, or if there's even a bad game mode, they'll just take it away. And quality is a big thing, and making the community is a big thing, but at the same time, balancing is also a big thing. Because you need to look at it about the monetization factor, and you also need to look at it as the factor that just because the community is happy doesn't mean it's generally good. Would you consider everybody getting 100 mega boxes cool? Yeah, of course I would. Everybody wants 100 mega boxes. Do you think that's good for the game? No, because that's just straight up not. You're going to see way more level 11s. Everybody's going to be unlocking way more brawls, and overall it's just going to be feeling pointless to buy the brawl pass because you just got 100 mega boxes, and now 2 mega boxes is going to feel nothing to you. So the thing is, just because the community wants something doesn't mean it's a good idea, but at the same time, just because the community doesn't want something doesn't mean it's a bad idea to implement it into the game. Basically, there are some features that I think was a really bad move for Supercell to delete, like Showdown Plus, and the reason is because I feel like the main argument for Showdown Plus is it's too easy to get rank 35s, and it's just overall not fair because people can get like 3.5k solo. They can get 3.5k trophies on a brawler, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal because if you don't play the game, then it doesn't affect you. Just because someone else got a rank 35, that has nothing to affect other people. And it's really fair because if people don't team, and if people team very little, so of course it's going to be easy to get a rank 35. Like, of course, in solos, imagine nobody teams. Imagine you would get banned for teaming and there's like 0 teaming in solos. It would be easy as anything to get a rank 35. You just use Surge or whatever and just demolish the lobby. Of course it'd be easy. But teaming shouldn't be a thing. Teaming is a thing where it's like, people do it because, well, everybody has their own reason. But point being that Supercell don't really seem to try whenever it comes to actual quality of the game, and they just bring out a new game and they're like, okay, you didn't like this game mode? Alright, well, here, try this new game mode. You don't like that? Alright, try this new game mode. But then you actually like the concept of the idea, like duels, but you just don't like the way they executed it, which there's nothing wrong with that. You just try and tweak it, or you literally ask the community, hey, you guys didn't like it. What would you suggest is good for this? What would you want to be changed in duels? But no, they just change it with a different game mode, which I'm more than open for them to try new game modes, but when you have new game modes like every season, it starts to get a little bit less hype and a little bit less awesome. Like, I remember when Siege was released, it was like the first game mode in a long time. There was a lot of hype around it. I remember when Takedown and Lone Star was released, there was a lot of hype around that, and the reason is because you don't really get as many game modes as being brought out. But then now we have so many game modes being brought out where there's just very little quality because it's just so rushed and there's just not much thought being put into it. It's just not a lot that gets put into it because there's so many game modes being brought out, which, don't get me wrong, I'm all for more content. But if nobody's going to play it because it's really bad quality, well then what's even the point of having it in the game? A game mode where nobody's going to play it, but it's there in case you want to. Now, I think Map Maker was a really good decision by Brawl Stars. It makes it a little bit more community made, and it makes it more exciting every single day to see what the new game mode is going to be. I think that it was a really good idea by Supercell, and I think Map Maker is quite frankly perfect. I don't think it needs many changes, if so any, because it's just in such a good spot right now. But there are definitely gamers that need some adjustments, and like, think about Brawl Ball. The last time Brawl Ball got an adjustment was like a year ago or like 2 years ago with the own goaling, because that used to be a big problem where people would kick the ball into their own goal on purpose to throw, but they changed that, which was so good. But imagine Supercell just said, oh, there's a big issue with Brawl Ball, hey, let's just remove the game mode. but obviously they wouldn't do that because it's like the most popular game mode. With other game modes have potential of being the most popular game mode. Like, let's just say Brawl Ball, or Brawl or whatever it's called. Let's just say that could be the most popular game mode, but there's a big issue that stops it from being the most popular game mode. So then instead of Supercell being like, okay, change it, let's make a tweak into it, no, they just remove it. Which honestly, I think Brawl Stars is in a really good spot right now, but I think it's just quite overwhelming. The game overall, I still love the game. I think it's amazing, and I think Brawl Stars is in a really good spot. I don't think it's really much of a necessity and they need to change it, because right now they are still going strong. Like, let's be real, they're clearly working. What's happening, it's clearly working, but I think there is just room for improvement. Maybe don't jump to the gun so fast of just taking away the game mode, and maybe give us some thought into how you can make the game mode even better, so that you can have 5 game modes that's loved rather than 15 game modes and only 3 of them are loved. Yes, that's going to do it for today's video. Honestly, I think I wanted to make this video for a bit of time, so I'm glad that we can finally get to it. But let me know your opinions in the comments. I would love to see everybody else's opinions on what they think Brawl Stars could do to fix some issues currently happening. So that's going to do it for today's video. Have a good one.